We back. This is 100 Simple Life Truths. This is episode 44. I missed yesterday. Which is cool because I'm ahead of the game. I'm supposed to do 100 episodes by the end of this year, and I'm already on episode 44. I think we have well over 100 days left. I think we have like more than 120 days left in this year. So I'm ahead of the game. And with being ahead of the game, I want to know, like, a lot of people not putting in that work. It's just simple as that. A lot of people just really just simply not putting in the work. Some of y'all really out here working 40 hours and complaining about it. Like, you're supposed to be putting in way more than that 40. You're supposed to be putting in way more than that 40. You're supposed to want. And I forgot who said it, which motivational speaker said it, but he said you gotta want your success more than you want to breathe. Can't remember what the man that said it. I can't remember his name, but it's true. It's true. You gotta really want what you want. Some people just want something. They just want it, but they're not really dedicated to it. They don't really want it. Like me, I'm willing to put in the hours, put in the effort, sacrifice, and get what I want, what I deserve, what I feel like I deserve. And part of doing that is doing these little. I don't want to call it little because you are what you speak, but doing my series. Is part of getting what I want. It's part of getting what I want. It's Friday. I'm gonna have an event. I'm having an event filled weekend, so I'm excited about it. It is August 30th. It's 4:47 p.m. and I got a lot of things planned for this weekend. So I might shoot maybe 2 or 3 episodes today. I might shoot one in the morning while I'm going to one of my events. I got an event in DC, and I got another event out here back in Philly. And then I got plans tomorrow night as well, maybe. And then Sunday is football. So I'm trying to lock in, watch my Rams play. Other than that, I don't really have nothing new to say. Y'all already know how I feel. Y'all already know I'm on my grind. I'm locked in. School starts back Monday for me, so I had this week off. School starts back Monday. I'm excited. I got 10 classes left before I graduate. And these 2 classes, I've been looking at my syllabus and stuff like that. They seem pretty easy. So I'm going to breeze through those, but I'm under a time constraint because my classes are time constraint. Now, if I was doing it on my own pace, I would have breezed through them quick. But I'm under time constraints. I just got to let the time go. Other than that, we're going to get right into it. This is 100 Simple Life Truths. I'm your host. I am your host. And episode 44. This is episode 44. This is actually my number in high school when I played football. Episode 44. And it's called Fitting In is a Pointless Activity. Fitting in is a pointless activity. And I wrote the quote. So now that I'm recording on my phone, which makes life a lot easier, I wrote down the quote. I can't see it, but it's there. I wrote down the quote. And yeah, I'm going to start saying at the end of every episode until I find something more fitting for the episode. I don't know. Other than that, I'm about to get straight into this. I feel like being on camera is better. I don't know. It's something about it. I think it's because I actually love myself and I love looking at myself. It's not on no conceited shit. It's just look at me. But yeah, episode 44, fitting in is a pointless activity. He starts on with saying, which I agree. I don't fit in many circles. I don't fit in. I don't look to fit in. I'm different in many ways in more ways than none. And I feel like why try to fit in? Be unique. We're all unique. We all might have some similarities. We may have the same makeup in terms of like DNA wise and stuff like that. We're all human, but we're all different. Our brains all think differently. Is nobody? If somebody that might look exactly like you, a doppelganger or whatever they call it, but they don't have the same interests. Even two twins don't have the same interest. You don't have the same interest as your brothers or sister. You might not even fit in with your family. You know what I mean? So be unique and thrive off your uniqueness. So yeah. He goes on to say, well, he starts off by saying, when it's your time to die, it's going to be a solo activity. So don't let the choices you make while you're alive depend on the approval of others. When it's all said and done, they're not coming with you. I write a lot about death mainly because it's the most liberating idea that comes to my mind. Most of the things that bog down our mind with worry are just manufactured by our imagination. And the reminder of death does well to belittle their importance. There is a grand scheme of things, and when you think about it, you realize that not only should you not sweat the small stuff, but that it's all small stuff. But that it's all small stuff. So not only should you not sweat the small stuff, but it's all small stuff. Which to me is like, don't stress. Don't stress. What are you stressing for? Life happens to us all. I've been saying that over and over and over and over again. It's become repetitive, but if you listen to episode 1, you know that this whole series is going to be repetitive because it needs to be ingrained in your head and it needs to be said to you different ways until you can understand it. And when you understand it, life's good. Life's good. So don't try to fit in because at the end of the day, it's just you. The things that you're trying to do, you're trying to fit in is all small stuff. Don't worry about the small things. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Life happens. I feel like he's intertwining two topics, or maybe I'm the one intertwining two topics. A lot of things, I feel like a lot of the things that he talks about, I kind of digress into and segue into other topics, but it all correlates. It all correlates. So the totality of these 100 episodes is really just a culmination of what life is together. So these episodes are not individual. They're not just okay, episode 30 is just episode 30. No, episode 30 correlates with episode 40 and 40 correlates with episode 10 and you need all of them. It's all encompassing. You need all of them to get the big picture, to get the idea. Um yeah. He goes on to say every moment you receive is yours and yours alone. You choose to waste it away, lost in the past or worry about the future, or you choose to enjoy it by allowing yourself to be present in it. Again, being present is the present. Your presence in the present is the present because it's all you have right now. And I'm feeling so repetitive right now for some reason. But the present is all we have. Is all we'll ever have. What happened in the past, it got us to where we are now. And what's happening in the future is where we're going to. But we haven't gotten there yet. So don't worry about it. Have faith in it. Have faith that what you're doing right now is gonna cause a beautiful future. Like me, what I'm doing right now is gonna cause a beautiful future. The things that I got on my mind that I know I have to do after I get off of this, I gotta go do a little studying, prepare for tomorrow's events, and all of that stuff hasn't happened yet. So I'm not worried about it. I prepare for it, but I'm not worried about it. The company you keep is also a choice of yours, and the people you have around you don't appreciate you for your unique creativity, then move on. The company you keep is also a choice of yours, and if the people you have around you don't appreciate you for your unique creation, for the unique creation you are, then move on. Agreed. Agreed. I believe I read something. I not read something. I was listening to something maybe 2 years ago, literally 2 years ago, and the guy said, if the woman you're with, it was a bunch of men talking. That he said, if the woman you with doesn't believe in you more than you believe in yourself, then you with the wrong person. And I believe that. I believe that because for some reason it's easier for people to believe in others than it is themselves, and it's crazy, but it's true. For some reason, it's easier for people to believe in others than it is for them to believe in themselves. Because you can sit there and say now we're in a political environment, so because of the election, it's more political than any other time, every 4 years, whatever. But people could say they believe in one candidate or the other more than they believe in themselves to be president. And you may actually be more qualified to be president than these two people that's running. So you can put your hope into somebody. That kind of goes into like when an emergency happens and someone passes out and everyone's just looking around like, okay, so who's gonna call the cops? Bro, you call the cops. Everybody has faith in everybody else to call the cops, but they won't do it themselves. So yeah, if the people that you're around don't believe in you and don't uplift you and don't motivate you, go on, move on. Life isn't long enough to win folks over, nor is it even worth the effort to seek approval from judgmental. Bro, judge me all you want. I'm going off of personal experiences. Judge me all you want. At the end of the day, I know what I'm working towards. I know where my life is going, and I know my worth. I know my worth. And if you don't see that, you're lost, right? And if I don't see that in you, and you feel like you're worth more than what I see in you, then you should also leave me as well. And it's not just relationship, it's friendships, family, everything. Everything. He goes on to say, many of those in history whom have celebrated now did not receive many of those in history whom we celebrate now did not receive the same accolades during their lifetime. Some of the thoughts and ideas they expressed may not have been the most comforting or convenient, which is true. I agree with that wholeheartedly. A lot of people, unfortunately, like historical figures and yeah, historical figures and like just people in general, they don't get their flowers when they're alive. They have to wait until they're dead, and then we start seeing their artwork, or we go back to reminisce over their lives and be like, oh my god, this person was really important, or this person really had interesting ideas, or whatever the case may be. So try to I wouldn't say necessarily try to receive your flowers while you're alive, but give people their flowers while they're alive. You know what I mean? If you see something great in someone, let them know that, because you can be the catalyst to what changes their life, because they might not be able to see in themselves what you see in them. So I'm a big proponent on motivating people and showing and telling people of what I see in them. Like I see greatness in a lot of people, and sometimes those people let me down, and when they do that, I depart from them. I depart from them because guess what? I I don't want to believe in someone that doesn't believe in themselves at all. Now, if you got faith in yourself and you believe that you can be your greatest version, and you just haven't put in the work in yet, I can accept that. I can accept that. But if you don't see greatness in yourself at all, I can't accept that. Like I said in previous episodes, I want my friends to be rich, and I don't even care about money. It's not about the money. I want my friends to be rich in terms of spirit, in terms of identity and who they are. Like you gotta have a rich sense of self to be in my circle. You gotta know that you are him, you are her, you are the one. Like whatever it is in which you're doing, and it might not seem significant to everybody else, but you gotta feel like everything you do in this life is significant to you, and it doesn't have to make sense to everybody else. It doesn't have to make sense to me. But if you are doing what you think that you're supposed to be doing in life, and it's not hurting anybody else, and you're growing and you're being the greatest version of you, I'm cool with that. I'm perfectly cool with that. Um, he goes on to say, yet we all have, yet after all they are gone, yet well after they were gone, they were considered ahead of their time. I doubt many of these folks who accomplished great things did it solely for the accolades or for feeble approval years later. They had the faith in what they were doing, and even if the world seemed against them, they pushed forward. This is facts. This is facts. Uh I could say I don't want to get political in here, so I really don't have. I'm trying to think. I can't say nothing. I can say I agree. I agree with that part of it. It pertains to somebody very particular that I can think of, but I don't want to get political. I don't want to get political, and if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. It goes on to say history is written with bias, and folks either uber demonetize or uber glorify. I said demonetize, it's demonize. Folks, history is written with a bias, and folks either uber demonize or uber glorify, both forgetting that people are not simple black and white beings. This serves well our continual efforts to simplify the world, but does for little who catch themselves in comparison. Who catch themselves in comparison. One of my favorite human beings is Malcolm X for the simple fact that he acknowledged and repented his own biases and closed mindedness when having new experiences in life. Facts. Always be open to adapting your beliefs. And I said that in, I think, one of the last episodes. Always be always be willing to adapt to your new information. Don't be so solid with your beliefs because you may learn something that completely changes your belief, and then you got to start believing something else. And then once you change, you're going to feel a little incomplete because you made your belief your personality. So don't do that. It's okay not to be perfect. No one was before you ever was. It's okay not to be perfect. No one before you ever was. It's facts. There's no such thing as perfect. You can be great, but not perfect. Not perfect. We always striving for perfect, and it's kind of backwards to thrive for something you're never gonna be able to achieve. But the closer you get to it, the better life becomes. And perfect is different for everybody. You got to find out what your own version of perfect is. And if anyone claims they were, it's probably a claim made after the fact. Made after the fact. We each have an awesome uniqueness within us, and we could probably use those individual traits to benefit others and ourselves. To discover those gems requires some internal treasure hunting. So I recommend you start digging. Dig deep within yourself to find out the traits that will benefit you and others and exploit them. Use them to the best of your ability and watch life become immaculate. He didn't say that last part. That was all me. No, but for real though, dig deep inside yourself. Learn about yourself. Learn about yourself. Learn what makes you great. Learn what makes you great and then exploit it. Use it. Hone it. Advance it. Make it better. Take your greatest trait and make it greater, and then you become greater. You can only get greater. You can only be greater. You should never be moving backwards. Learn about yourself. It may hurt to learn certain things about yourself, but guess what? Yes, you're absolutely right. Learning the bad things about yourself is still learning the positives because now you know how to control it. Now you know what you need to do to change that, how you need to get better. And it's not based on anybody else's opinion, it's based on your opinion. Things that you think inside of you, or things that you see within yourself that you just don't want to do anymore. That you just feel like you can be better not doing or not believing. And it's not based on anybody else's opinion. It got to be based on your opinion. Don't change for anybody. Don't try to fit in because someone doesn't like something about you. What they don't like about you, you may love about you. What they don't like about you, you may love about you. So what you got to do is, man, my alarm going off. Hold on. Hey Google, turn off the alarm. It's not gonna hear me. Oh well. He said the last part. He says digging inside doesn't require approval of folks on the outside. That's a fact. That is 100% a fact. You do not need people around you to approve how you feel about yourself. They don't really matter. Hey Google, turn the alarm off. That was hella unprofessional. But yeah, the people around you don't necessarily matter. You you could take their thoughts into consideration, but I wouldn't harp on it. I wouldn't take their thoughts as gospel because you may feel some way about them and they might not believe it about themselves. So that's that. That's that. Don't sacrifice yourself to fit in with other people. Sacrifice other people to fit in with yourself. As long as yourself is happy, as long as you're cool with being singular, solo, being alone, it's the best. The times when you're alone and you're comfortable and you don't need other people's approval and you don't need other people's energy and recognition is the best times in the world. I promise you. I promise you. It's the absolute best times in the world because then everybody that comes into your life, you automatically can see, okay, is this person going to benefit me or they're not going to benefit me? And the minute you realize they're not benefiting you, you out. You out. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Once you're comfortable within yourself, you don't need to fit in with everybody else. Don't fit in. Don't fit in. Make everybody try to fit in with you, and then when they try to fit in with you, you tell them, listen, do your own thing. I mean, you can have the same similarities in terms of things that you guys like, how you guys think, and stuff like that. But that as long as it's built genuinely and it's not something that you're trying to change yourself based off, or somebody's not trying to change themselves based off you, fine. That's perfectly fine. So there's that. That was episode 44. And of course, I promised y'all a quote. I hope y'all learned something about yourselves today. If you did, comment below. If you didn't, comment below. If you're not sure, comment below. Also, yeah, I don't really have nothing else to say. But I am going to read the quote because I promised y'all that. I did promise y'all that. And I like to keep my promises as much as I can. I don't make much promises anymore because I used to make promises and I used to never come through with them. I used to break people's hearts because I would promise them something and then I wouldn't deliver on that. So that's something that I learned about myself that I needed to stop doing. So I stopped making promises. I try to stop making promises, especially ones that I know that I'm not going to commit to. You know? And so the quote goes, your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. It is the bitter potion by which the physician within you heals your sick self. Therefore, trust the physician and drink his bitter potion in peace and tranquility. It's simple. It's simple. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. It's painful to learn about yourself, but that pain is the breaking which encompasses your understanding. And it's medicine with that your already healed self is giving your sick self. And we all know medicine is nasty, but it's a means to an end. So when we drink that potion that our own understanding is giving our non-understanding self, we need to just drink it as if we're drinking the remedy. Drink it in silence, peace, and tranquility, knowing that what you're consuming is the key to better. It's the key to better. That's it. That's all I got. That is all I got. Yeah.